Hi, Sanya.
Hi, Auric. What's going on?
Supreme things are going on. Something's nice, something's not so nice, but life.
That's how life is.
Exactly. So how have you been?
Nice, nice, good. Really
यार
good.
एनर्जी लेवल दोनों की थोड़ी डाउन सिंग लग रही है.
भाई मेरे को तो वो पेन मैनेजमेंट वाली ने ड्रग दे दिया, पता नहीं कौन सा एक
What?
दवाई दी उसने एंड शी सेड कि ये ना ऐसे थोड़े इससे ड्राउजी लगेगा, इससे आपको ऐसे लगेगा अगले दिन जैसे हैंगओवर हो रहा है. मैंने कहा ये क्या हुआ एंड सीरियसली वैसी आई डिड नॉट इवन touch a single drop of alcohol yesterday. I just had that medicine and I had the effect of it for like 16 hours straight. I was feeling drowsy and lightheaded and almost like a hangover. It was so bad. I'm like, which is why sometimes I not into medicines. I don't like taking medicines. They mess up with your system and it's not good. Some of them.
Men and medicines you should be beware of. Interesting.
Yeah, they also mess up with your systems.
True.
Mental and physical.
That's the worst kind of hangover.
Yep.
Anyway, so coming to the second episode of our mini series where we talk about the dating lingo and dating culture these days. Today's episode is all about self-reflection in dating. So these are terms that actually make you understand what you need to feel around a partner, around a relationship, or around a new relationship as it is forming. So let's get into that. But it also explores the whole, how personal habits and emotional boundaries in a relationship and patterns shape our love lives and the impending love life that we're going to have with someone. So let's start with the first term. What is the first term?
Yeah, so the first term is called dry dating, okay? And dry dating basically means, matlab this talks about the role of alcohol in dating culture. So basically, dry dating, I think obviously समझ ही आ रहा है, उसका opposite है कि it's a trend where people choose to date without the involvement of alcohol.
Interesting.
And actually in general also ना, मतलब लोग actually ठीक है. So alcohol का दो type के effects होते हैं. तो कई लोग बोलते हैं कि यार नहीं, if it's a first date to lose a little bit of वो awkwardness या जैसा भी है, तो you should drink a little bit, not get drunk, but थोड़ा सा alcohol पी लो so that you become more free and you're able to talk to each other more freely and have like a better time with the other person. Whereas the other argument जैसे ड्राई डेटिंग में ये मुझे कई बार लगा है, पता है कि like was it the alcohol or was it the person, because you are not able to sometimes differentiate कि was it just why was the company, मतलब ऐसे आपको you had a good time, right? So like probably because alcohol tha involved, which is
Much
why
easier
and made the other person also seem to be more fun than they actually are. So I actually sometimes think कि yes, alcohol के बिना पता है actually लोगों से के साथ जाके आप शिद्दत से आके बस खाना खा के आओ, कॉफी पी के आओ, लंच करो ऐसे टाइप के टाइम में, which is not traditionally romantic, so that you actually get to know the person. So I would prefer this actually.
In fact, this is what I want to say. Indians think that in fact a lot of guys ask women to go out on dinner dates or let's say कि दारू पीने चलते हैं, clubbing चलते हैं, is because they think that their inhibited side will come out, that they will be much freer with their words and their choices and all of those things. They'll be much relaxed, right? That is what they think, right? For nefarious purposes or otherwise.
I think it's for nefarious purposes.
Not necessarily, but generally people think that the person will have a little bit of ease around me, then let us actually get involved that way. But the dry dating part is actually the opposite connotation in the West. What is happening is that they think by removing the alcohol from the equation, the individuals are now prompted to actually engage in deeper conversations and they experience less anxiety and more genuine interactions, because
exactly
what is happening is that while you are being honest if in a relationship, but you are not thinking and being honest, you're not just blabbering every part of your life, and why should you do that in the first few dates any which way, right? so a lot of people think that
I should learn something from that, which is why I laughed. Sorry, continue.
Right. So a lot of people think that the absence of alcohol can also lead to clear decision making in terms of, should you be with that person or not? Because if everything is hunky dory and happy go lucky while you're drunk, you don't understand was it the effect of the alcohol?
Exactly. वही तो कह रही हूँ, मुझे कई बार ये होता है, was it the alcohol or was it the person? You need to realize that, right? So हाँ, probably a good and a better idea would be to follow this dry dating वाला.
Okay, I want to bring something here quickly, take a detour around this, is that we had this old episode called Long Distance Love and whatever, Love Beyond Distance, that's the episode name, yes, I remember. So उसमें ये था कि you said that long distance relationships could be real relationships, and I outright said that long distance relationships are situationships basically. Do you have anything to say around it?
You know what, to anybody who's listening, you have no clue how कि मतलब कितना खुश है और कभी, क्योंकि Okay, so in the past couple of months, my viewpoints regarding certain things have changed because again, I keep saying that I am not somebody who is very sort of like uptight about, oh, मुझे ये पता है तो यही पता. I am always open to learning. Yes, I have my own viewpoints, which some of them are strong, but I am always open to learning new things and discovering something else if something else is out there, and if that makes more logic to me than what I currently believe in. Basically, I'm not one of those people who would ऐसी अंधा कुछ भी believe करने वाला. So yes, I've been in long distance relationships, and I used to believe that long distance relationships have the equal amount of love and distance does not matter and you can make it work. It is extremely tough. So now I would say it is extremely tough. मैंने तब भी बोला था, you can still make it work, but something recently happened which made me realize that long distance relationships में you don't really know the person, because it is tough to know the person when you are at a distance. For example, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि if you hang out with the person a couple of times in person, so there are some things जो if they can't pretend a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it like their nature sort of gets revealed in your conversations. जब तुम उनके साथ hang out कर रहे हो तो अगर red flags type के हैं ना तो तुम्हें जल्दी notice हो जाएंगे. Versus I had one of these long distance relationships where I actually thought that I knew the guy, versus बाद में I got to know so many things about the guy which I was like, oh, who was I in a relationship with? मुझे पता ही नहीं था, पता है, because I was not in close proximity to him.
Exactly.
तो basically it's tough to know who the person is. True. Because तुम किसी से 4 दिन के लिए मिल रहे हो ना, they can put up a very nice act in front of you, and otherwise what they are doing when they are in their city, it could be, I'm not just saying cheating, but there are multiple things there. They could be living
around their behavior, not cheating, but let's say general behavior around, let's say, substances and other things, right?
So okay, dual sort of nature.
So the reason why we're talking about long distance relationship around dry dating is because not just Sanya, a few of my other people have also realized that a person is saying कि मैं दारू नहीं पीता, मैं फूकता नहीं हूँ, but वो तब तक आपको नहीं पता रहेगा जब आप देखते नहीं हो कि उनका nature क्या है around their friends and what their day to day is. Sitting on a phone call and pretending to be not drunk or calling you when जो वो high उतर चुका है versus constantly being high and craving these substances is a totally different thing. So what happens is that आप long distance relation में पता ही नहीं कर पाओगे कि आपका क्या चल रहा है, and that is one of the reasons why it is a very tricky thing. Dry dating up karo, but long distance relationships in themselves can feel like dry dating in the first place, right? And that's why they become much easier. So why I brought this up is because you have to understand the intricacies of a person's behavior. Even if you're in a long distance relationship, ask for the outcome, talk about what is the future that is holding, and try to understand their behaviors indirectly. सीधा आप पूछोगे भाई तू दारू पीता है, तू दारू पीती है, they might say yes, no, but they will never tell you the degree of it. Take them out drinking, see what they do, how their behavior changes around substances. That is where you will understand कि क्या चल रहा है, right? Just because somebody says something, don't take their word for it.
वही कह रहे हो ना, बट लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस रिलेशनशिप में तुम कितनी बारी कम बार मिलोगे. तो फॉर एग्जांपल कोई कह रहा है कि आई डोंट स्मोक, राइट? तो तुमसे अगर उसने लाइफ में ही मतलब 10 बार मिला है 1 साल के रिलेशनशिप में, तो वो 10 बार तो ऑब्वियसली वो प्रिटेंड कर ही सकता है. बट अगर तुम उसको सेम प्रॉक्सिमिटी में हो, तुम प्रोबेबली देन आई हैव सीन इफ द प्रॉक्सिमिटी इज लाइक यू आर वेरी नियर टू द पर्सन, फिजिकल डिस्टेंस बहुत कम है तुम्हारे, ज्योग्राफिकली, राइट, सॉरी. सो अगर वैसा है तो फिर यू टेंड टू मीट देम लाइक अ कपल ऑफ टाइम्स अ वीक, सो दैट इज इनफ. अगर कोई 1-2 बार बोल सकता है कि यार नहीं मैं स्मोक नहीं करता, लेकिन उसके बाद उनकी वो आदत है ना, तो वो निकल ही जाएगी सिगरेट, तब तुम्हें समझ आ जाएगा. लाइक अगेन टू ईच देयर ओन. ऐसा नहीं है जो स्मोक करते हैं या जो नहीं करते हैं, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट सबकी पर्सनल चॉइस होती है. बट फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर नॉट ओके विद इट, तो देन यू कैन टेक एन इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन कि ठीक है यार दिस पर्सन सीम्स टू बी लाइक अ स्मोकर एंड प्रोबब्ली इफ आई एम नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद इट, तो आई शुड टेक अ डिसीजन अकॉर्डिंगली. वर्सेस अगर तुम लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस में बैठे हो, क्या वो तुमसे बात करते करते सुट्टा फूक रहा हो, तुम्हें नहीं पता ना और कुछ भी. सो एंड तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है कि शायद हाँ.
So the moral of this entire conversation right now, the first act is that people figure out people who they are with alcohol, with substances, without alcohol, without substances, figure out in all sorts of lights, right? During their best time, during the worst time, during especially around things that they make them anxious and angry. These are the two emotions that they should actually look for, ki what makes a man or a woman anxious and what makes them angry.
I think that is also very important how they deal with their anger, because there are some people who take their anger out on you. कि मान लो ऑफिस पेरेंट्स में कोई प्रॉब्लम हुई है, कहीं कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुई है, एंड वो तुम पे आके निकाल रहे हैं, सो दैट इज नॉट वेरी
डिस्प्लेसमेंट तो
हेल्दी।
एनीवेज अ बैड थिंग, बट
हाँ, दैट्स अ बैड थिंग। तुम्हारी उनसे पर्सनली लड़ाई हुई है इज वन थिंग, पर कई लोग आके जबरदस्ती तुमसे, तुम बैठे हुए शांति से, दे विल जस्ट पिक अ फाइट विद यू जस्ट बिकॉज दे आर फ्रस्ट्रेटेड। ऐसे टाइप के भी लोग होते हैं, तो वो तो एक अलग ही आई थिंक टॉपिक है। हाँ,
राइट। चलो, तो जो अगला टर्म है वो है एनमेशमेंट, ENMESHMENT,
इंटरेस्टिंग।
एनमेशमेंट। ओके,
मुझे भी नहीं पता यार, एनलाइटन मी।
मैंने भी पहले बार पढ़ा था इसको।
हम भी सीख रहे हैं सबके साथ।
एग्जैक्टली। सो ये होता है अंडरस्टैंडिंग द बाउंड्रीज एंड इंटरडिपेंडेंस, राइट। तो इसमें क्या होता है कि आप एक रिलेशनशिप के डायनामिक्स और बाउंड्रीज को आप थोड़े ब्लर हो जाते हैं, या कई बार एक्सेसिव इमोशनल रिलायंस हो जाता है एक दूसरे पे। तो फॉर अ वाइल आपको लगता है कि आप बहुत ज्यादा क्लोज हो और आपके पर्सनल ग्रोथ पे भी हिंडर कर रहा है, या आपके जो इंडिपेंडेंस था उस पर अब रोक आ रही है। तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड रिकग्नाइजिंग द and establishing the healthy boundaries is crucial, and maintaining a sense of self-worth, that is what enmeshment is all about. Figuring out that you don't get swayed away too much by a person, because that happens a lot. In fact, with even stronger people, especially I know a few people who are very very headstrong, but even they get swayed. And in fact, I have a theory that people who are supremely headstrong are much more easier to get swayed.
yes, actually that's true. लगता है लोगों को कि नहीं ये मुश्किल है, बट दे आर ऑल्सो, कई बार कुछ हेडस्ट्रॉन्ग लोग ना बड़े स्वीट से होते हैं, तो उनको दिल के बड़े अच्छे होते हैं, तो आप उनको प्यार से बोलो मान जाएंगे। probably with headstrong people the other person also takes that kind of a stance, so फिर they also sort of come into the whole war mode type का, but if they are in their kind mode, तो yes.
Yeah, so in a gist, enmeshment is like boundary setting and goal setting, right? So what do you have to say, Sania, कि goal setting is very very important early on, या थोड़ा देखने तो 5-4 डेट्स पे जाएं उसके बाद सेट करें कुछ चीजें?
यार, I तो like to be upfront about what I am looking for, because I don't want to waste people's time and my time and energy as well, and I keep telling that to everybody कि at this point of time and age I don't want to I value my time and energy, so इसीलिए I like to be upfront about what I'm looking for, but at the same time it's like not, मतलब it's not to put pressure on the other person on me, तो it's like मान ले क्या मतलब, I definitely am at a place in life where I would want to get married to someone. If I fall in love with someone and if it is going well, that is my logical next step. तो इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि मैं किससे मिली तो 2 महीने के अंदर शादी कर लूंगी. No, I will definitely go and do the whole dating वाला process where I'm getting to know them and all of that. उसके बाद अगर चीजें सही होती है, then I will get married. तो probably क्या होता है कि कई बार जब आप upfront बताते हो लोगों को चीजें, तो some people get intimidated by, ओह अच्छा इसको तो शायद अभी 2 महीने में मंडप पे बैठना है. ऐसा नहीं है, बट मेरे हिसाब से intention matters, ठीक है. तो उस हिसाब से the other person is also mature enough, they will also understand कि अच्छा this is where this person is coming from, and I think this is very important because for example if I am looking for something like this and the other person is looking for something which is totally casual, तो then वहीं पे ही alignment नहीं है ना. तो कितना भी अच्छा इंसान हो जाए वो या मैं, but if your end goals don't align, या मान ले सिंपल सी बात है जैसे कई लोग कहते हैं हमें बाहर जाके रहना है या something like that, goals की बात है, right? तो मेरा है कि नहीं मुझे मान लो इंडिया में रहना है, तो then that is also a goal mismatch. तो कुछ कुछ ऐसी बेसिक चीजें, मतलब भले ही आपको लगे कि यार कौन फर्स्ट सेकंड डेट में ये सब बातें करता है, बट आई थिंक विद इन 2-3 डेट्स ये सब बेसिक चीजें, कई लोग कुंडली में विश्वास करते हैं वगैरह, तो मैं उनको बोलती हूँ आप पहले फिर कुंडली मिलवा लो, क्योंकि इफ दैट इज अ डील ब्रेकर फॉर यू, तो मैं इतने अच्छे से आपसे बात करी हूँ, बाद में कुंडली नहीं मिली, आप 6 महीने बाद मुझे छोड़ के जाओगे, तो कोई मतलब नहीं ना. पहले कर लो वो सारी चीजें, दैट्स बेटर.
No, absolutely. In fact, somebody very recently told me that, you know what, it gets very difficult to if for a woman, especially if she's very sure of what she wants and she says कि मेरे को शादी चाहिए, तो बंदे disinterested हो जाते हैं, because everybody wants a lot of casual stuff in their life, and a lot of people are indecisive. It's not even about casual, it's all about indecisiveness also.
Absolutely.
So in that case what happens is that what my personal viewpoint on this is कि it is better for you to not date that guy or not get that second, third date, rather than again getting attached to somebody and going through an emotional turmoil. Let that person go. If they don't see that sensibility with you, there is nothing wrong with you having those sensibilities. It's just that it doesn't match with them. Then please by all means have them go away from you, or you walk away from them. There is nothing wrong with stating what you want in life without having to waste time or emotions on
exactly
anybody,
I agree.
right? Nobody wants any kind of hurt. In fact, the segue to this is our next point, which is groundhogging. Okay, now groundhogging is a term which is the pattern of dating the same person or same type of person over and over again.
Oh, been there, done that, absolutely. Oh my god, But you know what I would like to say about this? Everybody has a type, by the way. So people do fall in love with people of like a similar type, both physically and personality wise. People have a type, तो वो उन्हीं उसमें बार-बार ही choose करते हैं. Both men and women alike. Both of them do this, by the way.
Yeah, actually, because it's very easy to fall for patterns and, have security in patterns and structures. And that's why people, because people have personal issues or unconscious fears, right? And because there is comfort and familiarity, what happens is that it is very difficult to break out of these patterns. And you think this was my safe space, so I am trying to look for those things again. But breaking these cycles actually requires a lot of self-reflection and understanding your own needs and desires, right? And if you understand what is right for you, then you'll be able to take the right decisions. For example, somebody told me recently that they have been seeing someone and that person did something wrong to them. Now it took a lot of time to actually get out of that relationship, but now, while they should always see that as a red flag, but even a person who's doing that to them now, visibly तुम्हें पता है ये गलत हो रहा है तुम्हारे साथ, फिर भी you're letting somebody do that to you, while you're not taking it forward as a relationship, but you're seeing the initial signs of that same thing happening. I told that person, please stop it right away. मतलब you as a person have to decide आपके साथ क्या होता है. दुनिया चलो आपके साथ जो मर्जी करे, but आप भी choose कर सकते हो कि दुनिया आपके साथ क्या करेगी.
Been there, done that. Happened to me recently as well. Something similar. I'm like,
what?
Yeah.
What? Do you want to elaborate?
No.
Slightly? No?
No.
Okay. Anyway, so this is a real thing. A lot of people fall in these toxic traits and somebody is like, यार तू तो इतने toxic relationship में था या थी. Why do you want to go back to that again? Obviously, because
subconsciously,
subconsciously, that is what you're seeing, and that is where a lot of psychologists and other people who read a lot on things on the internet, मैंने कह रहा गलत बात है, but it is also true that healing your inner child, your inner trauma was, if your father was abusive, then you will look for an abusive partner. ऐसा वैसे actually technically मैंने बहुत पढ़ा psychology के बारे में. It is actually also true. We kind of seek the things that we've always been accustomed to in our childhood. जो हमारे relationship, जो formative years थे, seeing our parents, जो हमारे relationship उनके साथ बना, उन situation में हमने अपने parents को या हमारे family members को देखा करते हुए, that is what gets seeped in our heads, and that is who we become. So that is why we fall into wrong patterns if things have not been conducive. And obviously in Indian conditions, nothing is ever perfect, right? In any marriage or any culture, nothing is ever perfect, but generally in our situations, तो भाई बर्बादी तो चली रही होती है सब जगह.
Yep.
So groundhogging, please people stay away from it. Do not fall for the same patterns. I have also been shikar of this, where I keep falling for the wrong kind of people all the freaking time. But now I'm learning, and by perseverance and telling myself and talking myself deliberately out of it, Yorick, stay away. These are the consequences. I always now try to think of.
You to overthink. At this point, I would like to say you overthink.
It saves me a lot of hurt, by the way.
Okay, then if it is helping you, it's helping you.
But I should probably try casual dating also.
Yeah, I want to be a witness to that day.
There is something wrong. People actually think कि भाई इसमें कुछ गलत है, ये casual क्यों नहीं कर रहे? भाई, it's a choice. I'm a 90s kid, man. But anyway.
Not all 90s kids are, by the way, like that.
True.
I know 90s kids, many 90s kids who are like very much into casual dating. I'm like, भाई तू 34 साल का हो गया, कब होगा serious? मतलब कब? Like casually करते रहो जिंदगी भर.
So what's the next term, Sanya? तू बता.
Yeah, okay. So the next term basically is freckling.
Freckling. freckles वो चेहरे पे जो डॉट्स वॉट्स नहीं होते उसको freckles
हाँ वही मुझे याद आई, पर नहीं, इसका मतलब ये है कि it basically is a fling. ठीक है, fling is what, a short term sort of thing. So it is a short term fling. तो basically वही है कि even if it is like a short term fling, basically fling क्या होता है, वही होता है ना कि either one party or basically both parties form sort of this short term bond and they know कि आगे कुछ नहीं होगा, but they're like अभी तो in the moment अच्छा लग रहा है तो let's just go with the flow sort of वाली चीज,
which I hate completely.
हाँ right. But होता पता है क्या है कि in that moment तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है obviously, and when you walk away, right, obviously because it's a fling, so when you walk away, when one person is obviously fine with it, but one person sort of gets that emotional attachment sort of thing, तो उससे फिर भी थोड़ा सा impact करेगा.
इंटरेस्टिंग. सो इसका एग्जांपल ये हो सकता है कि मान लो आप किसी एक प्रोजेक्ट के लिए मिले हो, काम के प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, या समर वेकेशन में आप गए, आपने किसी के साथ टाका भिड़ाया और फिर सडनली क्या कहते हैं आपने उससे एग्जिट ले लिया. बट the freckling also talks about the emotional impact of such short term things. In fact, West में अब ये था कि people were getting so much into casual stuff that now even teens are wanting serious relationship even in the West, and that's a data published by Tinder, by the way, that people are looking for more serious stuff.
वही हो गया ना. नहीं, see क्या हुआ, बहुत पहले it was like very traditional, even here and also in the West. If you look at movies and all of that, you will be able to realize कि they were also very sort of traditional in many ways.
Yeah,
ठीक है?
yeah.
So they were also like, you know, like शादी के बाद से शादी, हाँ, बच्चे करने, एक फैमिली करने, kind of like Indian family का जो वो था. हाँ, the boomers. तो वो बाहर भी वैसे थे. तो फिर क्या हुआ, बाहर आई थिंक ऑब्वियसली वेस्ट में ये चीज पहले आई कि ये हुआ कि यार चलो ये तो जो हमेशा होता है, इफ यू हैव बीन पुट इन अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्ट्रिक्शंस ऐसे टाइप के सेटअप में, लाइक आई वांट टू ब्रेक फ्री एंड सी व्हाट इज आउट देयर. तो दे हैड देयर होल फेज एंड इंडिया आल्सो इज आई थिंक नाउ हैविंग दैट एंटायर फेज की अभी हमें सब चीजें करनी है, सब ट्राई करना है, कैजुअल करना है, वो करना है, प्रॉब्ली बिकॉज हम पे पहले रेस्ट्रिक्शंस थे, अब नहीं, अब हम करके देखेंगे, शायद बहुत अच्छा लगता है, मे बी द ग्रास इज ग्रीनर ऑन द अदर साइड. तो लोग वो चीज ट्राई करके देखते हैं. अब लोगों ने वो चीज वहां ट्राई करके देख लिया, ऑब्वियसली ये लोग तो बहुत सालों से कर रहे हैं, हम भी अब आ रहे पीछे पीछे इनके, बट एनीवे दे, तो आई एम वेरी श्योर कि उनका वो ना ब्रेक पॉइंट अचीव हो गया होगा वेयर दे वुड हैव नाउ रियलाइज कि ठीक है इतना सब कुछ करके देख लिया कैजुअल, अब फाइनली रियलाइज हो रहा है कि नहीं, जो इमोशनल इंटीमेसी एक सीरियस रिलेशनशिप में होती है एंड जो कंफर्ट और काम होता है, दैट इज नॉट वर्थ सैक्रिफाइसिंग फॉर जस्ट फॉर लाइक अ कैजुअल थिंग. So probably उन्हें ये चीज realize हो रही है and they are going back to the roots because that is how I anyway envision the natural progression of things to be. क्योंकि I don't think, in fact मैंने for that matter कई लोग some of friends and people that I've talked to who were into all of these casual stuff, मैंने उनसे पूछा है, they were like also in serious relationships and also they did casual. So I'm like, what was more fulfilling for you? And they hands down everybody answered that a good relationship, like a serious relationship, was more fulfilling and way nicer than a casual thing. मुझे तो इनफैक्ट किसी एक इंसान ने ये भी बोला कि like what a casual thing is basically for physical needs, right? So he also said कि like for example there was this one person जिसके साथ I was in a casual thing with, and the physical intimacy was amazing, the sex was really amazing and all of that. Versus he was with like a person जिसके साथ तो serious relationship में था, was a girlfriend. He said point blank, he's like, the sex was not that great there, but it was still more enjoyable to me than it was with like the casual person. So
I'm gonna say something controversial here again, people, and beat me if you want. Please DM us and increase my follower count. I don't care. The point is, you said that casual is all about physical intimacy and physical things. I totally disagree. I think a lot of people these days get into casual emotional relationships also. भाई देखी जाएगी क्या फर्क पड़ता है. Why I bring this up is a personal pain point to me. For example, if देयर इज अ अच्छी भली लड़की जो मेरे साथ खुश रह सकती थी, मैं उसको वो वाला प्यार देता जो उसे चाहिए था, हम बहुत खुश रह पाते, बट बिकॉज सम डूशबैग हैज ब्रोकन हर हार्ट इन द डर्टीएस्ट ऑफ वेज, जिससे वो उभर नहीं पाई है, नाउ शी विल नेवर बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द लव दैट आई गिव हर, नो मैटर हाउ परफेक्ट क्या कहते हैं इट इज फॉर व्हाट शी वांटेड इन लाइफ, राइट? सो मेरा ये मानना है कि व्हाट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर नॉट डूइंग इज अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इमोशनल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेज ऑफ थिंग्स. लाइक यार पीपल विल गेट ओवर, हील हो जाएगा, कई बार नहीं होती है चीजें हील. सो यस, व्हाइल a lot of things are casual in terms of people wanting physical intimacy right now, वो immediacy of physical intimacy, but it is also about people like quickly यार किसी को बात करने के लिए मिल जाए, किसी के कंधे पे सर रखने के लिए कोई मिल जाए जिसके साथ कॉफी पी लूं, कोल्ड कॉफी पी लूं, things like that. That is also something which is getting in the way of
अकेले रहना ना.
Yeah.
Not as easy as it seems to be. That's it. But at the end of the day, I think अगर आप अपनी कंपनी में खुश नहीं हो, किसी और के साथ भी खुश नहीं रह पाओगे. It's like पता है कि मतलब वही है कि जबरदस्ती बैंडेड लगाना कोई चीज पे, वैसे करके चीजें सॉल्व नहीं होती.
So exactly. So while these fleeting connections can be really exhilarating, फिर भी कहीं ना कहीं दोनों पार्टीज को एटलीस्ट एक इंसान उस क्या कहते हैं इंटरेक्शन में बहुत ही इमोशनली अनफुलफिल्ड रह जाता है और बहुत ही ज्यादा कंफ्यूज और फिर डैमेज्ड या डिरेंज्ड हो जाता है. दैट्स द होल पॉइंट ऑफ दिस. एंड जो मैं अभी कह रहा था कि कैजुअल सिर्फ फिजिकल नहीं होता, वो इमोशनल भी होता है. दैट इज द नेक्स्ट टर्म व्हिच इज आल्सो कॉल्ड स्लो फेड और द ड्रॉन आउट वे ऑफ एंडिंग थिंग्स, राइट? अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल fear conflict, they don't want to fight, they don't want to emotionally damage someone, they think कि मैं emotionally damage नहीं करूंगा by eventually breaking things off or easily breaking things off, but it is still going to impact the same way. So slow fade is actually a method of ending a relationship gradually by reducing communication and contact unless it ceases to be altogether, right? Or people think मैं लड़ाई नहीं करूंगा, वो खुद जब पागल हो जाएगी वो खुद ही छोड़ के चली जाएगी. That is what slow fade is all about, कि letting the other person break up instead of you taking charge and being
वो भी है, and I think वो भी, is it also not slowly exiting from your life without that confrontation कि मैं जा रहा हूँ या जा रही हूँ, धीरे धीरे करके कम्युनिकेशन कम कर देना, ये वो करके कि ठीक है यार जरूरी थोड़ी है बोलना, समझ जाएंगे कि नहीं इंटरेस्टेड, वैसे करके, बिकॉज पीपल डोंट लाइक ऑब्वियसली कॉन्फ्रंटेशन एंड डायरेक्ट communication.
Do you have an anecdote to share here, Sania? Do you want to share something?
What, slow fading?
Slow fade.
नहीं, not really. मतलब हाँ, मतलब I think all of us have done that, especially in like the first couple of dates पे अगर आपको कोई अच्छा नहीं लगा तो probably some people ghost, some people do the slow fade वाला चीज की ठीक है यार धीरे धीरे करके पुश आउट कर लेंगे लाइफ में.
हाँ, पहले तो मैं 4 घंटे मैसेज कर रहा था, अब मैं आपको कहता 4 दिन में एक बार
एग्जैक्टली वैसा करके लोग स्लो फेड करते हैं. ठीक है, मैंने देखा है बहुत कॉमन.
बट मैंने तो यार लोगों को रिलेशनशिप से स्लो फेड करते हुए देखा.
दैट्स बैड.
इनफैक्ट बोथ थिंग्स आर बैड यार. मेरे साथ मतलब स्लो फेड तो मैंने किया भी है and हुआ भी मेरे साथ. But I think one day randomly a person up and leaving without giving you a reason is also very hurtful, by the way. That what happened in my last relationship breakup was the woman up and left, and I keep obviously I am in touch with her and I now I make jokes about it to her and I give her a jab कि भाई तूने क्या कहते हैं one up and left one day. So anyway, but that is also hurtful.
You did not follow her either, so it's fine.
She's like, I was expecting, my mother was also expecting that you would call, you would, try to get back. I'm like, why? When you leave for stupid reasons.
I want to be at this place where I can do this to people, where people, but kahin na, this is healthy. If people leave you, let them go. This is the thing which people keep preaching because beg करके क्या होगा?
No, wait.
अच्छा ये जाने दो.
Let them go वाली बात ठीक है, but if they leave for the wrong reasons, don't sulk over them and cry. This is exactly what I did. I knew for whatever reason she was leaving, those were stupid, illegitimate reasons, बेकार के reasons, and she will definitely come back. Now, why she's coming back and talking to me is because I was right and other men are douchebags out there. In comparison to मैं भाई भगवान लगता ही हूँ. भगवान नहीं हूँ मैं.
God complex.
I don't have God complex. तो मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ, कहने की बात है. Figure of speech है लोगों को. सानिया तुम लोगों को पता नहीं है लड़कों और लड़कियों, सानिया और मैं बहुत कुत्ते बिल्ली की तरह लड़ते हैं.
Yep, absolutely. मैं तो बोलती हूँ टॉम एंड जेरी वाला इक्वेशन है हम लोगों का बिल्कुल. Like anyway, people don't really need to know that or can know that.
How does it matter?
नहीं पड़ता. हाँ,
नहीं, but मैं ये बताना चाह रहा हूँ. For example, guys, इस पूरे एपिसोड का ये तात्पर्य ये था और why I brought this up. सब कुछ हो रहा है. Why? Is because सरफेस पे जो चीजें लगती है वो होती नहीं है. So आप सोचते हो कि और एक और सानिया की केमिस्ट्री इतनी अमेजिंग है और इतनी बढ़िया बातें करते हैं.
हमें कई लोग बोल चुके हैं कि अरे आप दोनों आपस में डेट करने की कोशिश क्यों नहीं करते. मैंने कहा आप हमारी ऑफलाइन कॉन्वर्सेशन सुन लोगे ना, आप बोलोगे भाई प्लीज मत करो तुम लोग यार.
ऐसा लड़ते रहते हो. People have also asked me कि तुम लोग डेट क्यों नहीं करते. मैंने बोला उसमें दिक्कतें हैं.
हाय कितना गंदा लड़का है.
But the point is that listen, I'll tell you why and then put it out there on the public platform. Is one of the reasons why we're not dating is because we are similar in a lot of ways, but we are also dissimilar. And my overthinking side की भाई अगर consequences हैं किसी चीज के, अगर आप नहीं उसको आगे ले जाते, मैं बहुत ज्यादा सोचता हूँ. So yeah.
ठीक है, कोई नहीं. To each their own.
To each their own. That's why we are both unfulfilled right now.
हैं?
Anyway, emotionally यार कोई नहीं हमारी लाइफ में. तुम्हारी लाइफ में है क्या कोई अभी?
नहीं पागल है क्या?
मेरे में भी नहीं है कोई फिलहाल. बातें चल रही, टॉकिंग स्टेजेस हैं, बट
टॉकिंग स्टेज तो चलती रहती है ऑन द साइड. उसको कौन काउंट करता है? उसे काउंट करने लग गए तो हो गया फिर. अब मैटर भी नहीं करती ना टॉकिंग.
बट प्रॉब्लम इज दैट यार मैं टॉकिंग स्टेज में भी एक ही टाइम पे एक ही इंसान से बात कर पाता हूँ यार. माय प्रॉब्लम इज दैट आल्सो आई एम नॉट एबल टू टॉक. मैं जो प्रीच करता हूँ अपनी बहन को भी बोलता हूँ, टॉक टू 5 गाइस एंड सी, तब पता लगेगा. मैं नहीं कर पाता
यार. मेरे लिए भी मुश्किल होता है.
पर मैं लड़का हूँ, देख मेरे पास ऑप्शन भी नहीं है कि 5 लड़के एक साथ क्या करते हैं. मरे जा रही मेरे पास.
हाँ, मेरे को भी कई लड़के बोलते तू तो और भी बहुत लड़कों से साइड में बात करी होगी. मैंने कहा मेरा एक तो वो स्टाइल नहीं है, बट हाँ ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं ऐसी कोई एक्सक्लूसिविटी वाली चीज में आ गई पता नहीं 4 दिन तुमसे बात करके. लेकिन मेरा थोड़ा वो स्टाइल भी नहीं है. मेरे को ना फिर वो लगता है कि इतने लोगों को लॉजिस्टिकली मैनेज कैसे करूँ. काम भी करना है मेरे को, साथ में मेरी पर्सनल लाइफ है, उसके ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट मैं 2-3 लड़कों को कैसे मैनेज करूंगी. मेरे से नहीं हो पाता इतना. मैं ठीक है रहने दे फिर. नहीं हो यार.
Cool.
बट हाँ करनी चाहिए बात. इफ यू कैन तो यू शुड.
देखो सबसे बात करो, दिल किसी का ना तोड़ो. कोशिश करोगे एटलीस्ट दिल ना
लगाओ और दिल ना तोड़ो.
ऐसा नहीं है, दिल लगाओ प्लीज, पर कोशिश करो दिल ना
तुरंत मत दिल लगा लो लोगों से.
हाँ. सोच समझ के परख के.
हाँ
एक्चुअली मैं तो ये कह रहा हूँ, दिल मत लगाओ, दिमाग लगाओ पहले और फिर दिल लगने दो.
हाँ वो बेटर है. नहीं इसका भी वो है पता है ऑपोजिट की. आजकल ना लोग कुछ ज्यादा ही दिमाग लगाने लगा है. ऐसी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव लिस्ट लेके बैठे लोग दिमाग में, पता नहीं क्या करेंगे. एनीवे.
Oh, that reminds me, we have to talk about the checklist at some point in time.
हाँ we will.
All right, people, thank you so much for listening. Please stay tuned and please थोड़े यार followers बढ़वा दो please यार. और by the way, किसी को अगर podcast पे आना है तो please write to us.
हाँ यार, please write to us. We would love to have guests over and have more diverse conversations. I think that would be amazing. So.
And some raunchy conversations as well, people. On that freaky note, bye.
Bye.